Did you know that our brain and body does and thinks things that we don't really want to happen? Even things that are considered a no-no. When we tell ourselves no, the brain gets enticed. It wants to say yes. Some individuals who struggle with OCD will hyper-focus and worry, feel anxious about staring at somebody's private area. They don't want to, but their brain focuses on it. It focuses on the possibility of it happening, or sometimes it actually does happen. They feel like they have to. You've probably heard someone say, okay, I'm gonna give you a task. I'm gonna say something and I want you to not think about it, not imagine it, get it out of your brain. Whatever you do, do not think about a pink elephant. See how long you can go. Is it working? Can you do it? How's the pink elephant? Not thinking about it? It is almost impossible to not think about a thought we don't want to think about, because you have just been given the task to not think about something, so you have to think about it to not think about it. This is what happens with our eyes. If your brain says don't look at their chest, what do you think you're going to do? Your brain has to say don't look at their chest, don't think about it, and it actually is going to urge you to do so. The nature of OCD gives individuals the same threats, but it's pretty prominent with everything, everyone they see, people in real life, people on TV shows, pictures they may see, and even animals. They often feel like they have to look. It's like not an option for them anymore. Their brain says, you must look, and they look. Some individuals feel uncomfortable if they don't look because they didn't fulfill what their thought or brain said. But at the same time, they don't want to. Individuals will have an intrusive thought to look at somebody's private area. They have perceived threats, their brain's coming up with an idea how this is dangerous, what it means for you if you do this, and it worries what it may mean. Their brain may say that they are a creeper, that they are going to scare the other person off. What are they going to think about me if they catch me? They worry about being caught. They're not going to be able to focus on anything because all they're thinking about, all the thoughts in their brain is just don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Or if you do it, look away, look away, look away. There are a lot of threats. Because of all of these threats, there tends to be a lot of anxiety attached to it. They want to do anything in their power to make sure they are not looking at these specific body parts, or even people in general. They worry that they are going to not only look at them, but they're going to stare. Often individuals will actually do it. They may stare at somebody because their brain says they need to, or their specific body parts. This is not something they want, but just like any other type of OCD, it takes what people care about and tries to exploit it. And you may think like, well, what do I care about then? For instance, somebody may really care about others. They really care about what others think about them. They really value other people. Maybe they really care about their view of the world, how they're very inclusive of everybody else. Maybe they're an advocate. Their OCD may attach to this and say, you care so much about other people and your own integrity that how about I make you feel like you've messed that up? You're screwing this up. Other people are going to judge you, they're going to see you. If I can get you to look at people's private areas, they may think something bad about you, something weird about you. But these threats are not enough to get them to not do it, because the OCD wants them to do it. It's urging them to do it. You will feel uncomfortable if you don't. So it's actually a pretty painful thing if you can't tell already. They want so badly just to live their life, but their brain wreaks havoc. It can even get to the point where their brain is convinced that they want to do all these things. They want to stare at these body parts. Some common areas individuals may focus on are breasts, the buttocks, crotch areas, belly buttons, eyes, ears, hair, feet, hands, lips. There really is no difference in what somebody may feel. And what I've kind of found is that it doesn't matter if it's somebody's crotch versus their lips versus their eyes, because what matters is that they feel like they need to stare. Usually the ultimate threat tends to be the same. They don't want to be perceived as a creepo. Their brain's urging them to do this, or they often don't want to feel uncomfortable if they don't follow through with what OCD says. Often they worry that they'll never have meaningful conversations again because they're fighting so hard to engage in that conversation and to not stare. This can make them think that they are ruining all of their interactions with others. In their brain, they're saying, did they notice I'm staring? Did they notice I'm staring? Did they notice I have these thoughts? What would they think? They feel like they're ruining their dates, their friendships, TV shows they're watching. Yes, TV shows. For instance, they are not able to enjoy watching TV shows because their brain won't stop hyper-focusing on these certain body parts. Every character that comes into the scene, they're looking at their crotch, they're looking at the private areas, they're looking at their eyes, whatever it might be, they can't stop focusing on it. And this does not make them a bad person for doing this. Their brain is making them do this. This can cause a lot of depression, a lot of hopelessness, that these thoughts and actions will not ever go away. Here are some common compulsions that I see. If you remember, compulsions are those things that people do to feel better. They want to gain some certainty that the threats that came to their brain don't come true. Obviously, one of the bigger ones that I see is avoidance. If I just avoid that event, I don't even have to think about if I'm going to see somebody else or not. If I don't watch TV today, it's not in my brain, don't have to worry about it. Some people may wear sunglasses to make sure that others don't see where their eyes are roaming. Sometimes people will cover their eyes. They'll do anything to make sure they are not triggered by the possibility of their brain saying, better stare at this, you look at that, better stare at this. Some choose to do some reassurance asking. They'll say, I'm so sorry if you feel like I was staring at you. Or they'll ask their loved one or their friend, what do you think about me? Do you think I'm okay? Are you all right with me? Did I hurt your feelings? Do you think I'm a weirdo? They may be researching on the internet for answers on how to stop doing this. And if you've ever researched, there isn't much out there. And it drives me crazy because this is actually a pretty big topic. Because with anything in our life, whenever there is something negative happening, we want to figure out a way to get out of it, right? So we're going to spend time researching online, finding all the answers. But really, when somebody feels like they have an answer, their brain starts doubting it again. So what's the treatment? The treatment for this is called exposure and response prevention. What this means is that you are no longer trying to control if you're going to stare at somebody or not. You are taking the threats that come to your brain, the worries that come to your mind about if you're a bad person, if you are not, if people are judging you, if they are not. We're not trying to figure it out anymore. And instead of you avoiding, trying to make sure you don't look at those body parts, you might actually look at those body parts. You're letting life be. You're letting your eyes dart over there if you need to let them dart over there. You're staring at that person's belly button because you're staring at the belly button. The whole idea is that you're responding differently to the threats. So if you catch your eyes staring at that belly button, the way you're responding is like, wow, look at that circle. It's a cool belly button. Look at all those little lines inside their belly button. That's amazing. Because usually what happens is like, stop staring, stop staring, stop staring. They're judging me. What am I supposed to do? How can I get away from this? They're going to think I'm weird. I can't look away. I can't look away. Because every time you do that, the brain is saying, this is dangerous. Stop doing that. This is dangerous. Don't keep doing that. It's causing more anxiety, more fear, and it's actually going to probably make you do this more in the future. But if you almost completely respond as if these threats and fears don't matter as much, that is one of the best ways we can do this type of treatment. Sometimes it's kind of tough to find some exposure for this because you don't want to go out in public and just literally stare at somebody's chest and just stare and just stare and just stare and just stare. Because we want to value other people and their privacy as well. But what we might do is we go to a grocery store and you're walking around and you're purposely staring. And I know it sounds so weird. I'm staring at their chest, I'm staring at their belly button, I'm staring at their booty. But it might be like you give yourself a 3-second thing. Boom, look at that booty. Boom, look at their chest. Boom, look at their belly button. That is amazing. I love this feeling. Oh, thanks, anxiety. We use those as the magic words a lot of times for these exposures because it teaches your brain to stop trying to figure this out. But each person's different. Some people choose to use a TV show, for an example, to say, I want to see these things. I'm going to purposely do it. I'm going to look at those parts I don't want to look at. I'm going to take all the threats that come to my brain and I'm either going to say maybe, maybe not to them, or I'm going to actually kind of agree with it. Yeah, they totally think I'm a weirdo. Yeah, that's amazing. Yep, they're totally judging me, but I'm not going to change my reaction to this. Sounds weird, I know, but the way you've been doing things haven't been working. So what you want to do is go to these parties, go to these events, go to where all the triggers, the places that really bother you, and you're changing your reaction to it. Instead of your brain saying no, you're changing that to yes. And if someone catches you, they catch you. We're not trying to figure this out anymore. That's why we're using statements like they may or may not. I make it sound easy, but I know it's a really difficult task. And specialists are hard to come by, which is why I created an online course for OCD. Takes you through videos, worksheets, assignments, and there's a Facebook group that you can chat with others who are going through the same thing. I'll link that down in the description below. So here is my question for you. Have you ever struggled with this before? How do you experience it? What do you do? The more you can talk about this, the more it helps other people. I hope this video was helpful for you. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm staring at their chest, I'm staring at their belly button, I'm still on it. I'm staring at their chest, I'm still in it. I can't do it. I'm staring at their chest, I'm staring at their belly button, and I'm staring at their booty. Dang it, messed it up again. I'm staring at their chest, I'm staring at... Okay, I got this.